So I want this art to count, and not just be beautiful, because there are many more talented artists than I am, like great technique, great colors, like wow art, but like if I'm just like a classic painter, like a normal one, and I don't have like a message, maybe it's just gonna be useless.
Welcome to episode 6 of Lo-Fi Podcast. I'm John Wentz, and on this episode, I'm interviewing Parisian artist Johanna Tordjman. Johanna Tordjman is a multimedia artist living and working in Paris, France. I first met her about a year ago at a solo show she was having in the Le Marais district. I initially was struck by her friendliness, her infectious, loud laugh, and her work, which were these really beautiful and amazing, large-scale, almost portraits, environments of the Black community here in Paris. Her paintings were very colorful and almost fantasy-like, and really gave a regalness to her subjects, depicting them in a light of power and beauty. So a year later, I was finally able to catch up with her and sit down in her apartment and talk more about her process, her subject matter, how she's expanded her work from just paintings into now video installations and more. And really another thing that struck me about her, she's an artist who's taking more of an independent approach to her career. While still working with galleries, she also works with brands which help would say they help move forward the projects that she wants to commit to and to create. She'll be doing a project in Miami pretty soon, and there's a documentary release which I will link to the show notes. So without further delay, here's Johanna Tordjman.
I mix everywhere.
You picked up a Jamaican accent?
On some words, yeah.
Really?
Like that was 10 years ago, but like 10 years ago I was just like, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, mate, yeah. That was so weird. So now, like, every time I speak, people also like, oh, you're from England. They was just like, nope. I do slang all the time. Yeah. But, like, the grammar rules, you just have to, like, you have to adapt yourself, though. Like, compare, like, when you meet some, like, for example, when I'm doing some interviews for, like, a popular, like, young TV stuff and everything, like Viceland. Yeah. Like, my language was so, like, yeah, whatever, blah, 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 and everything. And when I do stuff for, like, the news channel, I'm just like, yes, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just, like, trying to adapt my way of speaking to people so that they can understand me and get me, depending on where they're from. In the painting, it's more about the way that the thing that you express through it. Like I don't give a fuck about my technique. Mm-hmm. Like the more I grow with my art, the less I get into details. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I've shown that I know how to do details before. I don't have to anymore.
That's kind of interesting though. Like, because I'm the same way, but I mean, it's got to be more than that. I mean, I know you're like to say just like, oh, well, fuck that because I've done that. Like. What do you think the difference is between the value was then versus the value now?
I think that before my audience was like smaller, and I felt that I had to prove stuff, I thought that maybe if my painting is like almost perfect to me, though, maybe people will pay attention to it and maybe get what I wanted to express through it, get to my message. But now that some of the community that I have here know about what I've done, who I am and everything, like they focus more about the message than...
The bigger picture. Yeah.
And this is what I want to do, like, most of all, Like, like the technique, even like when a writer, like when you read something, when it's getting like super chronophage and everything, you're just like, okay, I can't read it. It's like too many information, like the old French and everything, like I cannot read it. It's too hard for me to get to the point of understanding the message. Mm-hmm. But with image, it's just like instant, and if it, like some people, I do love when it's rough, like I love your work for this too, because like you have like, like clean brush strokes, but you feel immediately the shapes of the faces and every like the colors that you pick and everything, you know, it's giving energy before like paying attention to like, oh, is that this color of this painting, or what brush did he use, or like you know, like we don't give a fuck about it so much in our generation, maybe, you know, because we're not so much part of the big contemporary art world that is like about everything about image and what you use and blah blah, you know, like super conformist in a way.
Right, yeah.
I don't feel conformist. I just like grew up with my mom, and she has like no money and everything, so she was just like, I cannot help you if you need some, so like don't do it. I was like, okay, I'm trusting myself. Like if I'm not showing people that I trust in myself, no one will. You know?
Yeah.
So I was just trying to prove the fact that I was like believing in what I was doing and everything. And to be honest, I didn't believe in me so much at the time. But I was like, okay, let's pretend, like fake it till you make it. You know?
Yeah. And this was what, year 2 of painting, or year one? Year 1.
Yeah.
So you go to Miami, you take a $10,000 loan, €2,000.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's
crazy,
funny.
Huh? And then I came back to Paris and Miami. Like I used to talk with a friend of mine in April 2016, and I was like, and I started like my first show. Was in March 2016.
Okay.
And a month after, she was talking, she was like, oh, what are your dreams? And I was like, oh, in 10 years, maybe Art Basel, Miami, and everything.
Yeah.
And it happened in December 2016. And then I was like, oh, no, that's crazy. Like, and when I came back to Paris, I was just like, what can I do next? Kind of, you know, because like I had a goal and I ticked it so quick. Yeah. So now, what can I dream about, you know? And
if that was your 10-year goal, shit, now I gotta reach into my 20-year goal. What's next?
You know, and I was kind of scared and everything, and that was crazy because I came back, I was kind of depressed. I was just like, wow, that was amazing. That was an amazing year.
That's interesting.
And then I was like, okay, I was sad about being too happy.
That's about being too happy.
Because I was like, I had like a bad, like I started after a trauma that I had, because I was like close to a terrace during the terrorist attacks in Paris.
Oh, no shit.
So I started just right after.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so that was the anniversary as well, like the first time. So I was like, ugh, you know, that was kind of emotional and everything. So I was kind of depressed, but everything was going well. And I felt more alive than I used to even before it happened, you know?
Right.
So that was like, I was kind of in a big like dilemma, you know? And then I came to Paris and I was like down and everything, and then I got an email from a gallery in Hong Kong who wanted to show me during Art Basel in Hong Kong in March 2017, just like a couple months after I came back, and I was just like, okay, you know, and I had, and they were paying for the flight ticket, they were like doing everything, you know, I was just like, whoa, that's nice, but like I felt cool, and I didn't want to feel cool, you know, because I was like, oh, that's the worst, like you will never last if you feel cool now. You know,
what do you mean by cool? Like
I was feeling like, oh wow, that's dope. Like I was feeling really confident.
Confident, yeah,
you know.
okay.
And I didn't want to. I don't want like I am happy now, but not that confident. At some point, I am. On some point, you know, but like.
What is it about confidence? What do you?
I'm afraid that I'm feeling too comfy, that I'm never getting out of my comfort zone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, if I'm not getting out of my comfort zone, maybe it will stop. Like as soon as it started, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because it happened so fast and everything, so.
That is a scary thing, right? If it happens that fast, it can end even faster.
Exactly. So that's why I'm trying to keep it like slow at some point and everything.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when it's coming to you and you've been waiting for this, you're not gonna say no because it's too fast and too great, you know.
Right.
Oh, sorry, it's too amazing. I have to say no.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
No one
I just did a show. Sorry.
Just that was a one-time thing, you know. I'm gonna wait 10 years of hustle before.
Yeah. But do you think like? That part of that, like depression too. I totally understand the terrorist attacks, but I wonder, do you get like that in America? Like my friends, we joke with the post-show depression. Like,
that's
like after a solo show, and you can't explain that to anybody who's never done it. But it's the worst fucking feeling. You have one night of feeling really great, and the next day you're just like, I'm depressed. An empty shell. I'm like an empty wine bottle
because you don't have a date to like.
You have no purpose.
Yeah,
that was your purpose for
and
6 months.
Like, what now?
Yeah,
this is like a wedding. I remember when my sister got married. It was like kind of a year, like talking about it and blah blah blah. You know, and then it was just like, oh my god, it's in 1 month, it's in 2 weeks, blah blah blah, and then it happened. It was amazing. And the day after, we were just like, I was alone in my room like this, and I was like, oh what? And she was crying, but that was the
because it was over.
Yeah, and that was like the most beautiful day of her. I was supposed to be this, you know. But that's it. Like when you have like a reaching point and you reach it, then what?
Yeah.
And when you are creative and on any level, like it can be in cinema and everything, you know.
Yeah.
You are someone who intellectualize. Yeah, everything, you know. You're just like, we're not into like, I don't feel myself like as an intellectual, you know, but like I feel like I'm thinking all the time, and I'm just like, okay, well, I have this, blah blah blah, and then when I don't have nothing to think about, I'm scared. I'm just like, I don't have no project. Like, what's next? You know? And I'm just like, maybe people are gonna forget my stuff and everything, you know? And it's happening a lot because like as soon as I'm doing a show, people come to this show and say, oh, when's the next show? It's like, fuck, you have like a lot of like a year of work here. Like, look at this, enjoy the moment, you know?
Yeah.
And they're waiting for you to do something bigger all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what's gonna be next? I don't know, maybe something small, you know? Maybe I want to do something small now.
Yeah.
But they're putting their expectations on yourself, and then it's scaring you.
For sure, yeah.
And that's why I feel kind of depressed. That's maybe like scientific stuff, you know? Like you have like this kind of endorphins in your body.
There's definitely that.
You know?
Yeah. No,
and then just like, okay, there were too much.
Yeah.
And now you're
I think
just
that's why it's so intense, because there is so many things. There is the like the endorphins, the adrenaline, all that wears out. But then it's also mixed with the like, I have no purpose anymore. Yeah. And then I know for some people, I get this way too. Like I feel like almost like a porn star in a way, in that like you do all this work, right, and you're so into it, and you know every little mark you made, you know where you struggled, and then it just gets put on a wall. There's an exchange of money, and then it's gone. And to me, I feel like
sometimes it's too short.
It's like, a little whorish. Yeah. Like I feel like, you know, I got paid for sex or something. Like it's nice somebody wants your work, and that's just one slice of it. You know what I mean? It's like, that had no feeling. Like it's just cash.
Some people just like don't feel. And you're right when you say that. You remember exactly the points where you struggled on a piece.
Yeah, you can tell
sometimes
a
it's
story.
like, you're making the eye, like, you know, you just like, okay, this I don't like this eye, I'm doing it and doing it again and everything. Yeah. And you just like, people are just not even gonna notice it, you know?
No, they don't. You know, I had something the other day on it's stupid, it's a Facebook thing. But I'm totally inactive on that thing now, so it keeps popping up like memories from 8 years ago or something. And there's a painting I did like, I don't know, it was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and it popped up, and I immediately remembered. It was one I did in one day, but I remembered everything that day seeing it. I remembered the emotion. I remember where I struggled. I remembered where I was happy. I remembered what happened that day. I got in a fight with somebody, an argument. Like,
that's
it was
crazy.
So weird.
But you put all of this in your painting, you know, so it's like sweating. You know? Like everything that you've put in it, you can feel it. You know, like even if people don't know the real background of how what made you do this, you know,
right? They're
gonna feel something that something was happening.
True, I do. I do think that kind of translates
exactly
in the work. Yeah, for sure. I had that one time. I always tell the story. The worst thing that ever happened to me is I went through a period of being addicted to pills, like opioids. And it was the worst. It lasted for a couple of years, and I was completely strung out. But I kept working, and I did a body of work that was to this day my best work I've ever done.
Wow!
And then I got clean. I had a show afterwards, and a bunch of people came, but I don't even know how many. It was too many people said, you know, I really like this, but your last show, man, there's something wrong about it. And you're like, fuck you. But I get it, because it's like when a band, like, you know, a band gets sober, they kind of suck. You're like, man, I like Guns N' Roses when they're on heroin, you know, or
that's
Jane's
so
addiction on heroin's way better than Jane's addiction sober.
That's so sad. You're just like, what the fuck? I struggle to get clean and
but I think
healthy.
it's because that translation does come through. Like,
of course.
You know?
But like that's exactly what I was scared about, you know, because when like the first paintings that I've made after the thing, you know, I was like talking about like there was that kind of piece, you know, like super like puzzled and everything, trying to reconstruct what I had left and everything, and people loved this, and I didn't know, and then I didn't want to talk about it anymore, you know. I felt like, okay, I had like a year when I allowed myself expressing about this. Now it's over. I don't want to be. No one knows about the story though, you know, like I don't talk about it to anyone in the world, like my close friends of course, but like in the press I don't talk about it. Like I don't want to put like the finger on like, oh wow, she's the traumatized artist and like, you know, struggling. I'm not that kind of person at all. Like I'm not happy all the time, but I'm trying to be happy or pretend to be happy so I can be happy finally, you know.
Right.
Like I'm trying to be like I'm a positive person. I'm not the cliche of the struggling artist living in Montmartre, you know, like drinking like
bottles of wine everywhere,
dirty wine, you know, like this is like bottles of beers everywhere here, you know, but they're just like more convivial. Right. But you know, I'm like I really wanted to escape this super fast. So the show right after. I tried to escape, but like it has like a strong feeling about this, and again, you know. And then the third solo after this, I was just like, I really felt like it was done for real, you know, and I was like so happy, and at the same time, I was so fucking scared about what people would think about that was not so different because of the colors I used and everything, I guess. But I was scared, and everyone loved it even more. I was like, oh wow, that's cool, you know. Like I was like kind of relieved, and now. I'm not talking about my feelings at all in my work. I'm just talking about like society and like how I feel about how my generation is treated, or black people, like, or like the minorities and everything, you know. So I'm using the voice that the press is giving me to talk about people that will never get like a mic to talk, you know. So I'm just trying to make it like count in a way. That's kind of arrogant, but not so. Like,
no, not
like
at all.
this, you know?
And actually, I wanted to get into that. I was going to ask that, and again, sorry. Like, so another thing you're gonna find with me is like coming from America, we're so tense about how we voice certain things. So, for instance, I was going to ask, like, the majority of your subjects are people of color.
Yeah.
But like you would say. But black, right? Well, because in America you say African American, but it's we're so racially tense in America here, that like I gotta be very
here
careful.
When you say this, they're gonna say like, don't be afraid of using the word black. You know, like they want you to use the word of who they are for real. You know, they're
America's
black people.
Different.
You know,
as you know, it's really racially tense right now. So it's you know, something I was gonna bring up ask is. One, like, how did you get into that subject matter, and what's it been like? Because, in all honesty, like, I mean, I wouldn't know, and your experience is probably different in Miami, but if you were an American-born artist painting the subjects you're painting, it would not go well. Yeah,
I was scared of it. But, like, here, like, I was scared of this in a way, but, like, my hair, people think I'm mixed. Sometimes, so it helped me.
I used to I had dreadlocks.
So it helps kind of, you know?
Very curly.
But, like, what's stupid to me is like, okay, here like I was born in the project like in the Parisian area and everything, so we are all mixed up here, you know. In America, I know you have like the Latino people living with the Latino people, the Asian with the Asian,
it's very segregated,
the Afro-American with the Afro-American and everything, you know. Here in the project, it's just the poor people, you know, like no matter where you're from,
it's
you
all
just you just live together. And I grew up there. And everyone around me was from everywhere. So there were Arabic people, there were black people, there were like everything, you know. I'm Jewish, and we were all living together, and no one was feeling bad about this. That was 20 years ago, you know. But now, I feel like it's different, you know. In the project now, people are moving, and it's more like packed, like a community stuff, you know. And even like the black people from an ethnic don't get along with another ethnic, you know, and it's getting like crazy now. I just like, and I'm sad, and she has like no money and everything, so she was just like, I cannot help you if you need some. Like 20 years ago, it's not enough time. I'm trusting myself. Like I'm not an old person, like talking about my old past. Just like super soon, like super close from here.
Right.
And I was like, this is like, when did it happen? Like when the change happened? Like why are we still not like super against each other and judging each other, and why the racism politics came up so strong and everything. You know, like when I was young, we have like the how can I like link it up? Like we have like a racist party, you know.
Oh, which one?
It's like the Republican, but like super strong.
Yeah, the Le Pen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those people, they're like, you know, super scary and everything. But that was when I was young. It was like no one would ever thought about them getting up.
It's pretty scary how close, the rise of Le Pen.
And that was maybe 95. Or no, I don't remember. I was young. And Jean-Marie Le Pen, her father, he was like on the finals. And I was like,
and he wasn't he like the head of like the I forget what it's called, but like the National Right. The National Front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now they're changing the name because they want to clean it.
Yeah.
This is still,
it's the same thing, right?
But he was so scared, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck did it happen?" Because no one would expect this. And now, but I was young, so I didn't realize it at all. But like now, it happened again with this crazy Marine Le Pen, you know. And I was like, why? Like, we all know, like, I feel like Paris is France, but not at all. Like, you go out in the countryside and people don't see any black people. They just watch the news when they where they talk about, like, oh, there have been violence. But they're not talking about the police brutality, but just, like, the young black people being violent against the police, which is not exactly like this, you know?
Right,
and they just don't know. They're ignorant. So ignorance brings to racism and shootings and everything, you know. But I wanted to talk about like everyone around me who are trying to be shut down, kind of, you know, and wanting to give them back their right to speak, you know. And they gave it to me. I don't know why. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So let's all go together now. Like, that's awesome. They gave me like a little path, and I'm bringing everyone with me. You know, I don't want to be alone in this because it's scary. And I need my people. But also, I want this art to count, you know, and not just be beautiful, because there are many more talented artists than I am, you know, like great technique, great colors, like wow art, you know. But like if I'm just like a classic painter, like a normal one, and I don't have like a message, maybe it's just gonna be useless, you know.
Yeah.
And they
well, and don't you think it would also be exploitative? You're just using the model. Because these are all people you know.
Yeah, those are everyone I painted. I know them, and I make them do a statement. You know, like they write something and everything, and in the documentary they speak. So I want them to talk about who they are and how they feel about this too, you know, because like now art is like Instagram stuff as well, because they go to the gallery, they pose like this in front of a painting and they don't even know the meaning of it, you know? It's hilarious. And this is ridiculous. And I have some people, like, I'm not like putting a shame on anyone, but like I have some people coming to my show and doing this, you know, and they put in and I think, oh, that's cool, like the art is traveling, that's nice. But most of the people that I met when I was at the show, everyone was coming and asking me about like the screenshots of Google that I have on a screen on my painting. They were just like, oh, what is it linked to? And like most of them guessed it right, you know. It's like the heritage of the people that I painted, like where they're coming from. I just went on the Google Street View stuff to find out where they were from and put it on the Canva next to them, you know. Okay. And I wanted to link them from who they are now, but like why they're like this now, what's their background, you know. And everyone was just like, oh, I guessed it right, blah blah blah. And then everyone was talking about their heritage, and I had no time for everything, you know. It was just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that's cool. And once I made like a show in April, and there was like a big video installation of me scrolling down my computer, like on Google Street View.
What one was that?
April.
No, what was the name of the show?
Pastèque and Parabole.
That's
the first act.
Yeah.
And I made this video, and I put like subtitles on every character on the platform, and I made them interact. Like someone in Senegal was talking to someone in Russia, for example. So that was like one country, you know, like there were no borders and everything. And the guy from the security came like when we're finishing the installation, and he was like, what the fuck, that's my street in Senegal. No and I was like, wow, that's amazing, you know. And he saw the street on the art, and so you bring something, you know. And people talk about who they are, and then they feel kind of nostalgic. that meets their place and they want to call their mama maybe, you know, and that's all the point to it. Maybe create a link again.
Right.
Make the link great again. Make art great again.
No. Please don't.
No. I'm sorry. We're just like, we make fun of him all the time here.
As you should. It's so traumatic.
I'm gonna make a red cup, like, make art again.
You should.
Great again. Oh my god. I would never rock this.
I'm happy that not many French people talk to me about that. Like when I first got here, there was a lot of like, oh, so what do you think? What's your opinion of Trump? But now nobody talks about it.
Yeah, they're just like, everyone knows he's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a sad joke, but yeah, this is
Americans,
ridiculous.
We're not too smart on some things.
Yes, here, like, it's not so better here, like it's.
I'm learning. I was surprised, man.
It's
I was
not
really
that great.
surprised.
There's a great movie, like I haven't seen it yet, but like this is this movie called Les Misérables, who's coming out today.
Okay.
It's a movie about like police brutality in the project and everything.
Is it a documentary?
No, a movie, yeah. Like
it's a proper movie, okay.
And it won like a prize at the festival, at the Cannes Festival.
Oh, wow.
And it's running for the Oscars as well.
Okay.
Which is dope. So I'm so happy for this guy, and he's dope, Yeah. But he's like denouncing everything that no one wants to hear about. And then the Macron, the French president, he saw the movie and he was like, oh, we have to do something for the suburbs and the project and everything. Wait, like, this for such a long time and just realized now.
Yeah, do you think it's bullshit?
Of course. Like, all the press is talking about him. He's winning prizes. And so now he's like, oh, yeah, I want to meet you. That's so good what you do for the project. Like, it's been like this forever. Like, people in the project, like, last summer, I was drinking a beer with some work people. And I was like, okay, we were just drinking. And then we just hear, like, pa, 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 pa. Just like a kid just got shot.
Wait, here?
Here, in Paris, 8 p.m.
Wow.
And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know it would happen,
Yeah.
And I was just like, the street just behind us. And we just knew about the story later. It just like, not even, they were 15.
Holy shit.
Which
is doubly surprising because everybody likes to say that there's no guns in Paris.
There are, but like inside of town, like there are some kind of like big buildings here, like we call it the Cité, like it's like on the project, but there's two blocks, even inside of town, and they have like drugs, there are drugs going there and everything, so they have guns,
Yeah.
But we never saw. I don't see guns here. Like never.
It's definitely like America. Yeah.
Oh, in America, like I've been to, like I've so many.
Yeah,
I'm always getting so scared. I'm just like, I'm not feeling comfy at all with this. Like we're so I'm so French about this. I'm just like, oh, like this is scaring me and everything. Yeah. Like once I was in Chicago and I went there by myself when I was 20, and I was
in Chicago.
Yeah. And I didn't know it was like this.
It's pretty fucking scary.
Because I really wanted to get to jazz clubs and everything, so I was not even 21. I couldn't get in.
Holy shit.
And then I was just like, that was just a couple months before my birthday. And on my French passport, it's written like the 2nd of July here. It's like 02/07.
Yeah.
And so they thought that I was born in the 7th of February.
Right.
So they thought I was 21.
They worked your advantage. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's go. So I went in some jazz clubs, and then I went to a district called Bronzeville. And I didn't know how I ended up there, And then I was walking, and they were like, that was like cliche America picture. There was like a McDonald's, a school bus, and an American flag. And I was like, that's funny. And I just took a picture of it. And that was just a drug point. And the guy who was in front of it, he just like pulled up his sweater and to show me his gun, to tell me to leave. And just like, hey, what the fuck? Like, what should I do? And like, I've never been like confronted to that kind of situation before. Like, I didn't know. Just like, okay. So I was just walking and kind of like not shaking, but like I was scared,
Yeah.
And then like a mama came to me and was like, you have to go. This is not a place to be for you. And I was like, I don't know how should I get? There was no Uber at the time,
Yeah.
He was like, hop on that bus. And I was like, okay.
So one thing I was wondering is what your experience as a female artist is.
It's not that bad, to be honest. Like the worst that I had was with other women.
Sorry.
But that's like
that makes
women's
sense.
To me, women's are women's worst enemies.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
seriously.
There's a cattiness. There is an
and I think I know why. Not know, but I think I get why. Is because, like, in many, many fields now, you still can be the first woman to achieve something. So the competition is just like, well, I want to be the first woman to be this or to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And as a man, you just don't give a fuck because, you know, men did it before.
Yeah.
You know, so just like, whatever, just like we're doing our stuff and everything. But they don't realize that there are many different mountains tops to reach, you know? They're just like scared or jealous or, I don't know. I don't get, like, I'm not like this, so I don't understand what they do, you know? But like, I had terrible experience. I had just one terrible stuff, and that was with a woman who got so fucked up, you know?
Really?
She was so crazy and saying, like, terrible lies about me to the press.
Oh shit, really?
Because she wanted to put me down because we tried to work together and it didn't work out because I felt that she screwed me and she thought that I screwed her. You know, we just like it didn't work out. That's okay, you know. But she tried to ruin me down the press and everything, but the press didn't believe her, you know.
Wow.
Obviously, because that was so crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just knew about it like a week ago. And it happened 3 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, damn, it's very recent.
Yeah, that's just because, holy, you know what, I had this ranking on Vanity Fair, the 30 under 30 list.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
That was so crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Vanity Fair.
That's crazy.
So you didn't know about it? Like
They called me in June.
Okay.
And it came out late August. Like, that was the September issue.
Oh, okay. How did they see your work? Do you know how they...
Like, they came to my show for a year or something. And then they were like, I don't know, I have no idea. I told them, like, did someone say no before? So I'm your 31, like 31st choice, you know? was that the 31st? You know?
I forgot what something happened to me recently too. I can't remember what it is. Something like that where when I was notified, I was like, me? And that was my thought. I'm like, oh, there must have been 3 people that were like,
that said no before.
I'm busy. Yeah. I couldn't be me that deserves that.
Well, of course it's us, you know?
Rad. And how do you like? I mean, that's a dumb way to put it. Like, how do you get these things? But I mean, in 4 years, Viceland.
Yeah.
Like, how did Viceland come up?
No idea.
No, like same thing. It just they contacted you.
In French, we do like.
I know. I'm used to it now. Anyone listening, well, they think it's a fart. Yeah. Toupette? Is that what you say?
Yeah, but
toupette or toupette?
Péter.
Péter? Oh,
yeah.
Toupette.
That's the verb.
The verb.
Yeah,
okay.
Péter is the verb. Toupette is
toupette.
Like, yeah. Oh, sorry. That's
toupette.
Super not elegant.
When it's we, would you say nous pétons?
All together. It feels like a Beatles song.
Yeah.
All together.
As I extended my French, it's so terrible.
But yeah, I don't get it so much, you know. I'm always in awe. No, it's not.
In awe, yeah.
I'm always like this. Like I'm always like surprised, and I really hope that I still be surprised when bigger things are gonna come up, awesome. You know, because I don't want to get like tired, like used to it because it's amazing.
Yeah.
But every time I've got that kind of a call, I'm just like, oh, what the fuck, blah, blah. I'm calling my mom and my sister because I cannot, like, most of the time it's like kind of like confidential. So you cannot share it, you know? It's just like, oh my God, who do I trust? My mom, my sister. You know? So I need to share it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's like a couple months before it's coming out.
Okay.
So you're just like, you're getting used to it. And as soon as it's coming out, you're just like, oh yeah, like I know this already. You know, like I know about it for like 3 months, whatever now. Yeah. So I'm just like kind of not whatever at all, but just like, oh yeah, that's cool. I hope that people will find it cool as well, because like to me it's something huge, but maybe it's just like
it's
something, you know. Sorry.
It's brand new to them.
Yeah, but when it's gonna the day before it's coming out, I'm just like, maybe it's shitty. I don't know. Maybe I got excited for nothing. You know?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I'm always like this, and then something crazy is happening, and I'm just like, wow. Like I'm always scared that people are just gonna find out. You know, like maybe like that I was not a painter before, or you know, I'm just always like this imposter syndrome. You have this.
Yeah. And apparently that's a big thing now because of social media. Like a lot of people experience it.
And I didn't took art classes.
Okay.
You know?
You're self-taught.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I've never been to the Beaux-Arts, like the big art school here. Yeah. I've never done this, you know? So I'm just like, maybe I don't know how to do it properly, or, you know, I'm always like kind of, but now it's okay. But like the 2 first years, I was just always like not confident at all about my work. So that's why I tried to put a message behind it.
Okay. So then, I don't know. Okay, I have a bunch of stupid questions that come up when you say that. Like, what was your impetus then? Like, what got you into doing it, and why did you start doing it?
Because I needed to talk about what happened, but I couldn't put words on it. And I've been I've never painted, but I've been like a designer for 10 years before. So
right, your background's graphic design, right? Typography specifically?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I've been doing this for like 10 years almost, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know how to work with images. I love colors. I love the composition of an image, and I love everything, you know? So I've always been sketching, but I've never used paint. So I'm not like super this is not the first time I took a pencil, you know? I've done this before. But I needed to talk about, like, you know, the trauma stuff. But I didn't like to talk to someone about it. Like, I didn't like the psychologist people, like the therapist. I didn't like them. So I was like, ugh, I'm not going anymore. But I had some, you know, like the feeling that I have that, I don't know this word, like not letting you breathe properly.
Oh, okay,
you know,
when you suffocated.
Like, exactly. So I was like, I need to express something. So I just took some paint tubes that I had for ages, and I done stuff, and it came out pretty nice. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's nice, and I felt happy again. So that was like this word, I don't know this word. It's called an exutoire in French.
Exutoire?
It's like a way to heal yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like a release, like okay.
So I was like,
so it was like therapy in a way almost.
Super therapy, yeah.
Okay.
Really like this, and then I came back to my happy stage of life, you know, like the person that I've always been before. And as soon as I felt great with myself again, I was just like not scared anymore, you know, that it would stop or that I would lose something, because the trauma was all about losing people, losing my life, losing everything, you know. I was scared of this. So then as soon as I was not scared anymore, I was like, oh, you know, I'm feeling relieving. And now when I'm painting, it's not hard, because it used to like take all of my energy. You know, I was painting and then I was exhausted.
While you're doing it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so the compulsion was that strong that you still had to do it, even though it was that difficult? Yeah, because I felt this crazy, but I felt kind of good in that pain. You know? Like, I didn't want... That was not over. You know, I didn't want to make it stop. Because I was 25, so I was really constructing myself as a woman as well, like as an adult, you know? And it happened, and it really stopped me in my... evolving, you know. But I was like, okay, this is kind of like, I was like really depressed, you know, like I couldn't get out of bed before like 6 p.m. I was not eating. Wow, really?
I was like, you know, like depression, kind of like really depression.
Yeah,
I never knew I never put this word on this before, because I was just like, no, this is just like, you know, whatever, because I don't want to be kind of a depressed person. Well, I was feeling it, so I was just like, now I'm taking it as it was, but I kind of liked it. That's really weird to say, but like kind of liked what it made me do, you know?
Yeah.
No, you know, I didn't like the pain at all, but like I was like, okay, I'm feeling bad, but I'm feeling like I'm like having a rebirth in a way as well.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like it's almost like
I had like a second chance?
Yeah, exactly. I would say it's a way of like because I've had that too, that type of depression, and it's a way of like kind of taking control of it, and that kind of feels good in a weird way. Like,
because you're just like, I know this is gonna be hard, but maybe I'm gonna be stronger, and I'm gonna let the hard like flow on me, you know, and be like, maybe okay, like I know how to deal with hard now. Yeah, you know, maybe that I have like I've never talked about it before, so I didn't have I don't know what happened to my brain, you know, because that was kind of this is PTSD pretty much, you know. So
it is.
I've read some books about it that was like terrible, because everyone ended up like suicidal or alcoholic. So I was just like, wow. I'm not gonna end up like this, you know. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna be happy, like I'm gonna pretend being happy and not talk about it anymore. So I just like muted myself. And I was just like expressing everything that I had in my work, and people received it, but without knowing the story. So there was like feeling something different, but like they knew something was happening, but they didn't know what. That was kind of weird, you know. And it was like, oh, what happened to you? Just like, oh, like life, you know. I didn't know.
Life, yeah.
This is just life, you know.
Yeah, it's not
and you know, it's like when you were talking before about like what it's like to be a woman in this industry. That's it as well. Because like when you're a drunk woman, you just like judged.
It's
more,
even worse. Yeah, you know? It's so unfair.
If you like dance with a man at a party, you're just gonna be a slut.
Yeah,
you know, because maybe they assume that you're going out with him, and even if you want to go like to his place, you're gonna be like labeled as a slut. You know?
Really, even here? Because I feel like you guys are so much freer with the sex thing. Like,
not so much.
Not
like,
so much.
Yeah, we are, but we don't have to tell about this as women. You know, like because you are gonna be labeled as something you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like not for like I don't care if people think that I'm a slut or everything, but I don't want the next boyfriend that I'm gonna have.
I heard about you.
Yeah, you know, I don't want this at all. So I'm just like now that people are filming me, like filming me, I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? I'm never gonna do this. You know?
So do you consider yourself a female artist, or is it just like a non-identity? Because I had a discussion with somebody. You do.
Yeah,
really,
I have to because I want this is what I was talking about before, and that's weird because I am like this at the same point when I was saying like women have to prove stuff.
Yeah,
you know, and I would be so happy to be that this may sound arrogant and everything, but like I would happy to be kind of a role model to young girls. You know,
that's amazing.
That they could feel that they can be whoever they want to be, even when you come from the project or from a non-artist family or a non-everything family, you know, and you want to be like a scientist, and everyone is like so broke to pay for your books,
right?
But you can do it if you put your passion and make people trust you, you know, and this is great for me because like I know like now we're all like with the Me Too movement and everything, you know, we're all talking about our place, you know. Which is great because I've never felt like bad treated as a woman. You know, like no one talked to me as a woman. You know, they were always like, okay, you're a painter. It's just like no one told me that I was a female artist before. You know, but I was like, yeah, this is who I am. This is my sexuality. You know, not my sexuality, but this is my identity.
Your identity. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna hide who I am. You know, I'm not gonna pretend being a man or everything. You know, just I'm a woman. I love men, and if I wanna be like this what's this word, exuberant like kind of woman, like being like dancing with boys and everything. I want to do it. I want to be free to do it, but I'm scared at the same time, you know. But maybe
why scared of
the labeling
the beginning
stuff.
label,
you know. But at the same time, I'm just like, if I'm not doing it and I'm having this kind of views, like people see me now at some point, you know, so maybe like if I'm seen and I'm not showing people that it's okay, no one, like it's never gonna change, you know. I think we need some people to push some doors.
Of course, yeah.
And I've always been scared to be that kind of person because I'm just like, no, that's not like.
Oh, you've been afraid.
Always like.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I've always
really?
been afraid. Yeah.
You don't strike me that way at all.
Oh yeah.
You're one of the most extroverted people I know.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm laughing loud. Maybe.
You have a don't give a shit attitude, and you know, maybe it's the laughter. I don't know.
Yeah, I think because.
But we all get scared of something.
I'm always scared about like, you know, because. As I've always had complex about being stupid. I'm not stupid, you know. Like, So I've been raised like a random kid, you know. But like they always wanted me to work well at school, to have like good grades. Like I've always been pushed to be good at something that I wanted. You know, they wanted me to find my own path, which was amazing.
That is amazing. And were they that supportive with art?
At first, they were scared about the money.
Yeah.
You know, they were like...
taking down 10,000 euro bank loans.
My mom was like, but that's the price of a car. And was like, I don't have a driving license. Yeah. Because in Paris, we don't drive, you know, so you don't have a license.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I don't have a license. But she told me about a car stuff. I was just like, I don't give a fuck about having a car. I don't know how to drive it, you know? So I would maybe buy a car of 10K. But now I'm buying my career for 10K, which is great as well, you know? I thought it was better. But we had like kind of this Really small fight. It lasted like for an hour, and then we hung up, and I was like, "I'm not leaving, not saying you, I love you," you know.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So we're just like, okay, we're not fighting again, and now she's super proud, you know. She's
gotta be, man. You're on Vice. You're on Vanity Fair.
Yeah, Vice. She doesn't even know about Vice.
The Vanity Fair. She's got it right.
Just like, whoa.
And you've been on TV.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so it's gotta be amazing for her.
Yeah, she's so proud now. But like she when I'm struggling and everything now, I don't tell her so much.
Yeah.
Because I had some hard money times, you know, like a year ago. I was like, ugh. You know, I was trying to find coins in my sofa to buy some gasoline for my scooter.
Oh, damn, yeah.
And I had like that kind of time.
Been there,
yeah. And I was like, I couldn't tell people, you know. I was just like, ugh. I was kind of ashamed, you know. But she was always been like, sometimes like she felt it, you know. Because mom they have this power.
They know.
This is weird.
Yeah, they have superpowers.
Oh, wow. And she was calling me. It was like, do you need something? I was like, no, I'm good. And she was like, stop saying you're good. I feel you're not, you know? I know you're not. I was just like, it's going to be okay. And she wanted to give me money, but she doesn't have money. So I was just like, it's going to be okay. Like, I don't need your stuff and anything. So I had like that kind of pride stuff. Like, you let me be who I want to be. So now I'm going to prove you right. You know, like I'm good, I'm independent, blah blah, and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we're talking about first. What was the topic? Why am I going in
this way? These things just go anywhere they want to.
Like that was about being a woman.
It started with I was asking being a female artist and do you identify as a female artist or just an artist? And I think that's interesting because I taught a friend of mine who. Back in the States, he has an opinion. Now he's a white guy, but his children are mixed. His wife or ex-wife is African American, and he kind of comes from that perspective of like, he thinks like if you're black and an artist, you need to talk about being black and an artist. But do you identify to that extent?
I'm not doing a gender art.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to talk to women with I don't give a fuck. I want to talk to the biggest audience that I could have.
Yeah.
You know, not
that, and don't you think it's also your story though? Like what I like about your work too is that it seems honest to me. Like you paint your life.
People that I love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I paint their story.
These are your surroundings.
Yeah. And I love people. You know, I have the thing that I'm really empathetic. Like I really love people's stories, and I really hate injustice. Like I have I'm feeling so bad every time something wrong is happening, you know, and it happened to me that I couldn't sleep because of stories that I heard that I even lived, you know, and then I was like, whoa, okay, I want them to count because they are amazing souls, you know. So this is just about telling stories and being a witness of my generation and my history, you know. This is the history of this new world, kind of. Those people, they're doing stuff, they're trying to make an impact on the society and everything. So this counts, you know. And like at the time when you're going to the Louvre and everything, you have like this stories paintings, you know, like you see like this is the guy in the field, or people having a picnic on the grass and everything, you know. So you're just like, that was their time. Our time is harder now, you know?
Right.
Or maybe sometimes were hard at their time, but they didn't paint it, you know? So, except like when you have like Guernica with Picasso, with the war stuff, you know?
Yeah.
We have like war paintings, everything, but like there are a lot of paintings with
but the war
flowers.
paintings of those history, they're still kind of idealized. Like, you look at like
so
Delacroix or
beautiful.
something like that.
You know,
it's very staged.
You just like with your flag. I'm sure this story didn't. That was like maybe super.
It's almost propaganda in a way. It makes it look very heroic. I mean, they were painting for the king. Yeah.
Like for history books, we didn't know that we will have history books, but like it feels like it was made for this, you know. Like wow, France won, or we lost, but with pride, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like reality is hard, but we can find beauty in it, and if you make it like in an aesthetic way, you can make people look at it and make them look at your story and maybe think about your story. And as soon as you create a debate, you can change stuff, you know?
Right.
And we are at the tangible stuff when now I think I at the close line of making a change, you know. It's not happening so much right now, but we're close to it. And if we, really feel like this, that if we all go there together and try to make an impact and talk about it like with pride and like not hiding who we are really, or you know, I used to straighten my hair since I was born, kind of.
Oh, did you?
I just stopped this like 5 years ago.
Wow, recent.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty young too.
Yeah. But I was 24.
Wow.
You know, and I was like, and I just realized that I had those hair because I forgot. I just fell asleep.
You're breaking out the flat iron every morning and like
all the time.
It? No way.
Yeah, and that was so annoying. And then I was like, that's not me. That's who my mom wanted me to be, because she taught me how to straighten my hair. Oh. She used to do my hair because that's not that she was not proud of how I came out, not at all, you know. But she has like really not curly hair. My sister has super straight hair.
Really?
I'm the only one like this, you know.
Yours is crazy curly.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It's so big.
Awesome.
There's so many and everything, you know. But like she wanted me to feel, I guess, because people were making fun of me when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because of my hair.
She thought she was doing you a favor.
Exactly.
Of course.
And as soon as I stopped, she was like, "Whoa, that's great." But she was like, "I really love doing your hair. Maybe we should do it again," because she loved that time.
It was a bond.
Just two of us talking while she was doing my hair, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But now, just like, like I would never lose so much time straightening my hair. But like, this is because the time. This is exactly when I was okay with everything about me, you know, like my body, like because like when you're a woman and you're curvy, you're just like not looked at so much sometimes, you know. But like I've always been like trying to hide, and I was even more looked at, you know, because I was like only wearing gray, not even black, just gray. I was trying to be transparent when I was 16 and everything.
Oh,
you know?
Okay, yeah.
But like when I was younger than this, like I used to do skateboard a lot, so I was like wearing like all of those bright PCs and doing my stuff. So, and then I don't know why, just like when I was 16, like my female body like revealed itself. So I was just like, no, I don't like this, you know. Like, oh, that's too much, you know.
Yeah.
And because it happened like in the summer.
Yeah, it happens quick.
It was just like, whoa,
kids,
that's too much, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, now I'm feeling super comfortable with who I am, and that I think it's my strength, you know?
Yeah. Do you think art played any role in that? And like it gives you an identity? Not course. So much like the act of it, but you're an artist and you're successful.
This is the way that people are looking at me now, in a way that they love what I do and they don't give a fuck so much about who I am.
Right. So they see it through the lens of your work.
So now they love me. I hate saying this, but like like me, they consider me because they like my work. Yeah. And so they think that they know me now because they know kind of what came out of my soul. Right. You know, on the canvas. Yeah. Which is great, you know. And when they come to me and say like, "Oh wow," because like to be honest, like most of the big comedians or singers, not all of them are so pretty, but. Success make them beautiful, right? You know, like,
how do you feel? Does that? I wonder sometimes if that's fair. Like,
no, it's not fair at all.
It's not.
But they're talented, so they have this another charisma that's coming out of who they are because you love them playing a role who's so different from who they are. Right. You know, like they're playing a character that's not them, and you love the character, maybe not them, but you are mixing all of the lines and everything.
Right,
you know?
Right. Everything gets blurred.
But like, as a woman, I thought that, you know, the groupies and everything. Yep. I thought it only happened to men in the music industry.
Yeah,
you know?
Really?
I thought it was this.
Now, did you learn differently? It happens to women in art?
That's ridiculous. I have some boys that come to me and they're trying to seduce me. And then when I'm kind of seduced, you know, they're just like, oh, maybe I should do this for you, blah blah, and they want to work. They use their seduction to work on some projects and get paid from my money, and I don't have money, boy. Like they feel that I'm super rich, but I know. Yeah. I'm not gonna like a guy. He was really handsome though, and he was like trying to seduce me. So I was like super seduced even before he talked, you know. Yeah. I was like, oh, I like this guy. Yeah. And then he came to me, and we had like a really little story that was nice, you know. And then when my show came, he was like, he's like a DJ, you know, but like a young DJ. He's not a young. She's not so young, like in his age. I'm not a.
Oh, you mean like starting out?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
This 12-year-old kid with turntables. You got seduced by that?
But he was like, "Oh, I want to perform for you," which is like, "Oh yeah, well, that would be dope during the show, you know." Mm-hmm. And then he sent me an invoice of like the money was way too much, you know.
Yeah.
And I know the pricing because I have like DJ friends and everything, so I know how much they charge when they're big, not so big for the hour, 4 hours and everything. And I was like, what the fuck? He really came to me because he thought I could give him money, or like, what the fuck is this, you know? I was like, ew, that's gross. And I said, no, obviously, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, wow, you're really like a slut, you two.
Yeah, people, they look for opportunities, man.
Oh, yeah, but like, don't use like your sexuality to have stuff, you know?
I mean, have you seen that there is a trend right now of, like, I just call it abstract porno art. Like, there's a few painters that you see, like, I don't remember the names, but like I know some people like the Unit, showing at the Unit in London, and I forget where else, where it's like, it looks like, I don't know if it's their own photos or they're just taking screenshots of porn and then painting it, and I don't know, it's supposed to be edgy or something.
I'm not sure about this.
Ridiculous to me, but
I don't know why. What are you trying to express? Maybe
I think it's shock value. Like for me, I think we're getting to a
if you have a message behind it about like the way that porn actresses are treated, or I don't know how they're treated.
Sure, yeah.
If you want to raise something,
an awareness or,
exactly.
No, I think it's more like
I think too.
It's like the visual clickbait. You know, like it's like what else can you do?
They want an
Instagram?
article on Viceland.
They
Vice. they paint just weed and dicks.
Weed and dicks, yeah. Big dildos and buds. That's all it takes.
I don't know.
Because I'm really curious. Like I now, like with myself, like I don't know why. Like I think maybe like being here for a couple of years, it's forced me into like self-reflection.
Yeah.
Because for the first time in my life, I feel like a foreigner. This isn't my native. So I started thinking about that, like my identity now, and what gives me purpose.
When I started this, I was 25. That's really the tangent of like being a teenager still, like a young adult. We're still like at 22. You're stupid. You know, when you're not stupid, that's not a nice word, but like you're still looking at yourself.
Yeah, you don't know the world yet.
No, you feel like you do, but you don't. So you're just talking for nothing and pretend being someone because you want to impress people.
Yeah,
older people. But now that I'm 29, this is ridiculous. I know it's a young age, but like I feel like an old person now because I've always, like when I was young, I've always had older friends and they were all like 30 something, you know. So I'm just like, wow, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
You know, but like I'm still not even 30.
Yeah.
So I feel like kind of in a weird, like when I talk to young people, I feel like, I don't belong to this anymore. Yeah. But when I see my old friends, like, because they're still older than me now, so they're like in their 40s as well, I'm just like, I said old friends, I'm sorry.
No.
My older friends.
It's not even an issue.
But I'm just like, oh, wow, I don't know. I'm not judging at all, but like I'm like, oh wow, like I'm not sure I want this life when I'm 40.
Yeah.
But what should I do not to have this one? Well, maybe it's so hard, you know, when you're in the middle as well. Because I have young friends and I have older friends, and they're just like, I don't know who I am. Like, like in my career, I know where I want to go, where I want to be, and everything. But like in my personal life, it's really, I feel like it's really hard for me to deal with both. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you're not an artist, like you know how to work. You know, it's something like you've been taught. You're working and you know how to make it grow. But like having a family, you're not taught to have a family, to find someone and be, you know, in a couple and have kids. No one ever taught you how to do it.
You gotta figure that shit out.
Yeah, so working is like kind of like a really big like stuff to throw myself in because I know how to do it, you know. Mm-hmm. But like dealing with the family stuff and the couple thing and everything is just I just don't know how to, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay, I'm getting older now. I'm getting into my 30s. I'm having a career which is okay. Like it's still on the edge of some. I could go somewhere with my career if I keep going, you know. But like, this is maybe not enough. You know, maybe when I this is every time I'm thinking about this, maybe in 10 years when I'm going into my 40s, you know, maybe I'm just like, oh, I just worked my whole life. What's the point if you're alone with this success at the end of this, you know? Because like in the small circle of Paris, some people know me.
Yeah.
And at the end, you're still alone most of the time. You know, like people come and film you in parties and they come and talk to you saying nice things. But at the end of the night, you're alone. You know? I have friends and I love my friends. I love my family. But still, you're just facing like your loneliness in a way. You know, because like this is the post depression after the show. That's the same. You know?
Right.
You're just like, whoa, that's amazing. Everyone came and everything, and then just like.
You go home to an empty apartment.
Yeah. Which is messy because there's still paint on the floor. It's just like, ugh. I don't have, you open your fridge, you have nothing in there because you're... It's just like, oh, is that really the life? Sometimes I'm wondering if I wouldn't prefer like a classical job from 9 to 5 with a family and nothing to think about when I'm coming home.
Right,
You know? Because with this job, you're always thinking about this.
Yeah, there's never a day off.
You know, you even when,
and sometimes it's a great thing, and sometimes it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I'm always scared to go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm so happy that the show is in Miami, the next one, because it's gonna be sun.
Yeah.
And there's a swimming pool in the hotel that I took. You know, so you're just like, oh wow, it's holidays. I'm just like, not really holidays. It's
working holidays.
Exactly.
That's what you figure out. Yeah.
And I'm just doing this all the time now.
Yeah.
It is amazing, you know, because I'm having this opportunity to travel with my stuff. But at the same time, like after the show, I really wanted to go like for a week alone somewhere. Oh my God, no, I'm not ready. Like to think of what. I don't have a project going. I'm just like, what am I gonna think about? Like just nothing. Just the sky is blue. Why is the sky blue?
Why is the sky blue? Yeah.
I'm gonna Google that shit.
Really existential. Yeah, but don't you think? I mean, you can. I found ways to like combat that where I like I've been working a lot digitally. Like I find ways like going on vacation to sneak.
Oh yeah, of course. But I would always work.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. Like I know what you mean. Like I remember going through that phase, and then now I'm like, when I really see people that don't have that drive or that purpose, I'm like I would be like that. You know, there's the fish that like. They never sleep. They have to keep swimming. Yeah. If they stop moving, they die. And you just come to terms with that. Like,
you're right.
This is what I am. It becomes less of a question of what I want to do and more of just who you are, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Because when people say like, oh, I'm going to travel and just like lay on the sand, I'm just like,
boring,
this is terrifying. Like this is really, and this is like putting anxiety. You know, I'm just like, oh no, I cannot do nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
And I found that like most people that I know, it's probably the same with you, is like any artist with any amount of success is some type of workaholic. Yeah. You have to be.
If you're, of course.
You know?
You're not going anywhere without putting yourself like harder all the time. That was when I was talking about the comfort zone. That's the same thing, you know, when you're too comfy and you're just like, you're going to lose yourself.
It's a scary place to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For now, I hope that someday I'm gonna just do nothing. I hope that I'd be like so successful now that maybe in 20 years I'm gonna be so fucking rich that I'm not working anymore and I'm just gonna have houses all around the world with some friends, that I'm gonna bring with me all the time. And then I'm just like, sometimes you fantasize about your dreamy life. Sometimes I'm just like, no, I would never I would never leave this. I know it's not me at all. Like in 20 years, I know I'm gonna still want to maybe teach this to someone, or I would never just be like this and wait. This is the saddest thing, I think. When you see when you read some biographies or watch movie biographical movies, even about even Basquiat, he had everything he could ever dream of, and he was just alone and doing drugs all the time, and he died of it. And this is like, oh wow, like this is so sad that we're all working for this point. Now, I'm doing painting for myself first, but now that I had no ambition when I started, I just wanted to do it for myself.
Right.
But then I realized that I could do something with it and monetize it, so I could live with it, So just like, oh, that's cool, let's keep it, and maybe it's gonna come. and it's not coming crazy now, you know. But like when, and I hope so, maybe it's gonna come like for real. I'm just gonna be like, is that it? You know, like is this what I wanted? Because I'm not sure. For now, I'm not ready to have money. France, when you say that you like when you're doing popular art, like a stand-up comedy or a movie or music, and you're talking, you started from the bottom, and now you're successful and you show that you have money. People are gonna be like, "Well, you're not talking to us anymore. You changed, blah blah blah."
Okay.
Of course, we're changing. That's the main goal in life, to evolve.
Right.
You know, but like people are just like, yeah, whatever. We don't feel concerned about. Like we don't feel connected with you anymore. You know, and it happens all the time. Like, I went to see Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. You know, he performed in Paris.
Yeah. And
I went to see him, and he was just talking about his money, and people clapped because there were mostly Americans in the audience.
Okay.
Everyone clapped and cheered his success. In France, if a French artist says so, they would be like, super awkward moment. You never tell about the amount of money you get and everything.
Wow, yeah, that's fully the American thing.
Yeah, and everyone cheers.
Money, yeah.
Yeah, but that's great. You know, when you're supporting someone's success, you know, success goes with pride and everything, but it also goes with money sometimes.
Is it great though? See, I wonder about that. See, I kind of like it better here because it becomes such a focus. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I mean, we're so dumb in America. Like, there was that thing, like, I don't know the Jenners, man, but that young one who's a billionaire now, and there was a point where she was close to being a billionaire, but she wasn't quite there yet. Yeah. So her fans started a GoFundMe for her so that she could be a billionaire.
That's ridiculous.
Like, that's how we the pedestal upon which we put.
But that's nice though.
Money. You know, I mean, yeah, I would take it.
Yeah, I want to have 1K. Can you help me have 1K?
Literally, the one person in America who does not need a GoFundMe, and people gave their money to her to make her a billionaire.
But that's nice in a way because people are supporting.
But is it because she was already like she was like $200,000 away? So she was a millionaire many times over. She didn't need money.
Oh yeah, there's millionaire and then billionaire.
Millionaire then billionaire. Yeah, no,
that's milliard.
Yeah. So,
what the
exactly.
fuck? No, fuck.
See, now
fuck
you get
her.
Yeah. It's stupid because they were living vicariously through her. Like,
and
if she's a female billionaire, then we all win. And like, no, you don't.
No, she does not. She's not gonna give in you.
Yeah, and you lose the money you gave, and that's how much we worship. Yeah.
But I have an agent now.
You know? Do you really?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna ask, like, I'm really baffled by the art business world here. Like,
I don't know how to deal with it.
It's weird. It's very not American.
How is it I don't know how it's in America.
I don't know. I mean, that's many layered. Like, I would say one thing is we focus way too much on it, on the business side of it. That's what's refreshing being here. But then on the opposite side, like, things I've experienced here are galleries, artists, maybe even to an extent, are very flaky here. There's no, like, flaky is like non-committal. Okay. So, like, if a gallery, you're set to meet with a gallery in the U.S., you will meet with them. Like, it'll happen. It's set in stone. It's on the calendar. Here, people are so fucking flaky.
Oh, yeah.
People like, okay, let's meet on Sunday. I'll come by your studio. Never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, it was like this everywhere because it was, you know, I just learned this that way. So to me, I know it's going to be hard to get in that stuff. So I'm not expecting anything from them, you know, because I know it's always like this, and they always talk because they want to do it when they say it at first, and then they realize they don't care. You know, maybe that's it. But I think it's super rude and not respectful for the human behind the work, you know. And you're just like, fuck you. Like, to be honest, like, I've never succeeded with a gallery before. I've always done like a self-production and everything, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so far it's been okay. Maybe it's going to get better if I have like a great support from a great person. But like, I've never met someone nice in the industry so far in Paris.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know?
I've met some nice people, but...
but like, they're all nice when they see money behind yourself, you know? Yeah. They know they can get money out of you. So freaking nice, you know? They want to work with you.
The thing I find funny about it is, too, in my experience, is a lot of galleries here, they see the end coming, as they do in America. Like galleries, it's on its way out. It's an old system. In 10 years, it'll probably be completely
I'm working with
dead.
brands now.
That's, I think, the way to do it. That's the future of art. And it's so, what's bizarre to me is I think they know that, but they're still in this non-committal mode.
They're so mean. You know, they're just like, look at you like you're shit or a product, you know? Just like, we are human, we have soul, and we do it like for this, you know, because we're sensitive. And they just don't care about it at all. Like, I have like surrealistic talks with galleries sometimes. Because after this show, some came and wanted to work with me and everything. And at first I was like, oh, wow, that's dope. And I was like, no, fuck it, you know,
no,
I'm not
already
sure.
Successful.
Yeah, I don't need. Like,
you don't need
I
it.
need to sell more, obviously. You know? And maybe they have those rich clients or just like people with money who can afford the paintings, you know. But still, I'm not sure I'm ready to deal with like this energy of me fighting against what I need to, because like when I'm building a show, I know exactly what I want about the set design, the everything. Like I have it in mind. And when a gallery comes and just like, no, this is not smart, this blah blah blah, I'm just like, I would do it even without you. So shut up. You want to be part of it, so shut up.
Yeah,
you know,
then
just
you should
support.
be doing it my way.
Yeah, you support. You know, like I am the boss in the situation. You know, I'm giving you money out of this. Like this is from my work that you get the money. So technically, I'm your boss.
That's
so shut
such
up.
a great way to see it.
know?
Yeah.
But like, it's so hard for me to apply this. Like, if you want to work with me, you're doing it my way.
Yeah.
So most of the time, we're not doing it. Because they always want like 70% on the sale sometimes. I'm just like, I'm not working and getting 30% out of my work.
Yeah.
This is insane.
It's absurd. I mean, that's on the high end.
I prefer not to sell it, to be honest. Like, because I love my pieces most of the time, and I'm happy to have it home. You know, so I prefer to have it and keep it with me a little longer than getting 30% out of my sale, not knowing the name of the person. Like, I love to have a, you know, like a relation.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And that's what, going back to what we're talking about, like in the beginning, is like that kind of feeling like a whore, that I get sometimes, because I don't even know where it's gone.
I hate this
I don't see the person. I don't know. I just know it's packed up and it goes somewhere else. And maybe they'll tag me on Instagram or something, but like, it's a very sterile. Yeah.
So I'm just like, whatever now. I'm just doing my own stuff with the brands. It's okay. If they just put money and they ask you to wear something, and that's okay. I'm okay with a nice jacket.
Yeah. Well, it makes more sense. Yeah, well, I mean, if it affords you the freedom to do what you want, which is funny because usually, like, traditionally, that's like the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're working with brands, you think contracts and you got to do this and that.
But they're not like
that. But that's really the galleries that are doing that.
And it's changing so much now.
Yeah.
Like with the brands, because they want to, this is thanks to the influencers that didn't provide the things that they were expected to. Like it was great, there were views, but that's it, And now they're looking for the micro influence with talents, with people who do stuff, So the consumers can refer themselves to what someone is doing for real in real life, like a musician, a painter, or whatever, So this is a great time for us to get inside, like their brands. Like right now, I'm working on something that I cannot say about, but if it's happening, it's great, It's like luxury brands and blah blah blah, and you're just like, whoa, this is dope, But like I was like, me for real, like again this time, It's like, why me? But then they saw me at because during the Vanity Fair Prize night gala, I had to do a talk, like we were 5 out of the 30 talking with the guy who was hosting the party. He's called Michel Denisot, and he's like the bigger journalist in France.
Oh, really?
Who's on TV for like 50... He's 74. He's been on TV for 50 years, and he's been interviewing... Interviewing,
yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Like from Scorsese to everyone,
Yeah.
So I was like so fucking impressed. I was like, my legs were shaking. And then
were you nervous?
I was so fucking nervous. And then I got on stage and I was just like, whoa, I'm Celine Dion. I was feeling like... I was feeling so comfy making jokes with him. And now he's just talking to me on Instagram. And that's insane,
That's so cool.
And I felt so good on stage. that I was making jokes sometimes, you know, because they were like, oh, how do you know? Because like Kim Kardashian has a painting of me, which is like, you know, just like a thing.
Kardashian has a painting of you? No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, because like a friend of mine is her coach.
Uh-huh.
And he's French, but he's living in LA now because he was coaching Kanye before, and he sponsored him to have the visa and everything. So I didn't even know him at the time. We met before because of this, you know. But like they were talking about the Kardashian and Booba, French rapper, and who again? I don't know, another celeb. And they were like, but how do you know those people? How did you met them? And I was like, oh, that thanks to alcohol, you know. Yeah. And everyone was laughing in the crowd, and then. As soon as I got them laughing, because like I made several jokes, I got into the real hard convo about immigration, about, you know, like society. So I got them by making them laugh. And then I was just like talking about like the passport, the visa, and all the borders and everything. And so they got into my speech because I made them laugh before, you know.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't plan this, but that was so smart. You know, I feel like, wow, that was the thing to do, even if I didn't know that was the thing to do.
Yeah.
And then after this show, like everyone that was Vanity Fair's like Condé Nast, since Vogue and everything, you know. So everyone was here, and I was like, I didn't realize at first. And then they all came to me after the speech, and I was like, that was insane. And then this guy from this luxury brand, he came to me and was like, we need to talk. You take my card and you call me tomorrow. And I didn't call him the day after because I was hungover. But I called him the day after. Like 2 days after. And we had lunch, and he was telling me about this project. And I was like, you didn't even see my work. You just heard me talking. That's crazy,
that's crazy.
And I was like, did you check? And he showed me something that he found typing my name that was not me. That was not my work that he saw.
Oh, shit, really?
And I was like, oh, no, I've never done this. He was like, oh, okay. And then I was scared. I was like, oh, fuck. Maybe he was expecting something that I would never do, you know? And then I showed him my real work, and he was like, oh, yeah, but I saw this too. And I was like, he was
okay.
But he just, he was catched by something that was not from me.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that's scary.
But this is when I realized that your personal branding counts way more than your work.
Yes, it does.
Which is so sad, though, because this is not. You can be so fucking talented with your hands, but if you don't impersonate something that people want to go with, you're never gonna get work.
Yeah.
This is sad, huh?
Yeah. No, well, that's why a lot of really, really talented people don't succeed. People don't care about what you do; they care about who you are and why.
Yeah.
And who first, why second.
Yeah.
Personality does a hell of a lot.
But this is sad because like not most of them, but like a lot of people who are succeeding are just like whatever. You just see their work, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, because you realize that, and that's why, I mean, in my opinion, is the majority of anything out there is mediocre. The majority of music is mediocre, the majority of art, the majority of film.
People don't have high expectations.
No, and that's why as long as you have a good personality, you can sell that shit.
Yeah, that's sad, huh?
Yeah, it is.
This is exactly why I'm just like, I didn't know I had a great personality for the people, you know? I'm just learning this now, which is great, but I'm just like, I'm going to use this for, like, to spread something great.
Like, one of the first things we were talking about, I was talking about, like, Baudrillard, like the French philosopher, talking about, you know, these simulated realities. Like, that's completely what it's become. Because, like, I've talked to people about that, too, and then I've talked to, like, you know, kind of agents and managers who... social media managers, and they're like, you need to be yourself on your stories, but don't be yourself. So you're like, well, what are you talking about? Like, you know, so it's a contrived sense of self because people want transparency, but they don't really want the reality. No, so it's like, if I'm sitting there in my underwear eating Cheetos, like, what's up, guys? Nobody wants to see that. But you know
what? This is funny that we're talking about this now because I had a show a year ago. It was about surveillance cameras and everything.
Yeah, okay, I remember seeing that.
And there was like all the black and white, like it looks like kind of a church stuff, you know, like church spirit. And I did a video installation where when I put like surveillance cameras in my home for 10 days, filming me constantly. Nice. And I made like I like make it shorter, of course, because it would be like way too long. But like that was just me in my random shitty life, It was just me like waxing my legs. That was me just trying to do push-ups and I stopped at 2 because it was too tiring. That was just me like this at 4 a.m. eating because I came out, like I went back from a party and everything. And at first I was like, whoa, I just wanted to know for myself at first how many times do you need to forget that you're on camera, because like you can be like everywhere you film, in the street you've recorded, like everywhere. So I wanted to know, as soon as you know that you're captured on film, like how many times do you need to just be yourself, right? And I made this and I projected the video at the show. And people, it was the final, and it was like 15 minutes or something, And people were watching it like 3 times in a row. And I was like, this is voyeur, like
it is voyeur, yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. And that was a time that was so cool that it happened that time. But I was breaking up with my boyfriend during the time. It was the cameras in my home. That was really not on purpose. He dumped me. But like so that was okay. But like there was one scene when I was crying, in night with like the red light camera in my room, and I was crying and everything. I was like, maybe I should not put this. This is my intimate life. And then I was like, but that's the point of the video. That's the point, I'm not gonna censor myself. This is me. I'm having the control on my stuff. So I decided not to censor everything. Just like the nude part, I didn't put them. Because no one wants to. Maybe people want to, but I don't want to show them.
Yeah. And that's why I just reminded something I was going to say at the beginning. In doing it, like the other thing, and why I decided to do a podcast is kind of on that same lines. Like I've always been interested, and especially now with how common it is for people recording each other and recording themselves. Like there was always that debate with documentaries. Like, can you make an unbiased documentary? And the obvious answer is no. Yeah. In the greatest documentarians say that as soon as the camera goes on and there's an people eye behind it, and you film it a different way. There's no reality anymore. And I wanted to see that, like with interviewing people, like how much can you have a natural conversation? Because I found myself the second,
but I think you forget, like with this, like I talk to you, you don't have the microphone.
That's one of the reasons why I don't do that, because I've done that as a guest and as a host. Like, and when I'm looking at you with headphones and a mic, it's like
it's reminding you all the time that you're.
And it feels that way. But you know what I think the downside is people want that. We say we want natural, but we don't.
Of course, it's not interesting. Like,
but it is though. See, I think it is
to us because we have this sensitive kind of spirit in a way, and we want to know what's the essence of people,
Right.
But like common people, it's not rude to say so, but like common people, they just don't care.
Right.
Like, are you sad? That's okay, whatever.
And I find that very depressing.
Of course it is. But like, when I put this video up and people were watching it like 2, 3, 4 times in a row, and they would wow, that was so weird. Like, that was their first show that was so big that people I didn't know came like randomly in the place, Mm-hmm. And once I was there on a Saturday, and then there were like a 70-year-old American couple who came in, and I was sitting and talking with a guy I knew. And they went out, and then they came back in, and the old lady came to me, and she was crying.
Wow.
And she was like, oh my God, I just realized it was you, and I'm so, she was like really moved by the piece, Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, like I was so happy that she cried. I was like, wow, I made something like emotional.
Yeah.
And but I received a lot of DMs on Instagram saying like, I'm crying watching you cry. What did you cry? Why did you cry? Like everyone was wanting to know why I cried. Yeah. Like my classic life of like me trying to do push-ups, no one cared. But me being desperate kind of and crying so hard.
Well, it speaks to the empathy in people. And what's brilliant
they wanted to know just why I cried.
Well, no, I think that was the brilliant thing about that is that there was no explanation.
Oh yeah, nothing.
So that leaves to their imagination. Just see a person in pain, and it kicks in with the empathy.
Yeah,
and
some people came in and hugged me, and I forgot that I cried on the video. That was like months before. I was not sad anymore, And I was like, oh, whatever. This guy is fucked up anyway, And it was just like, oh, I want to hug you, and it was like, I'm good. I'm really good.
How weird was that? Like, that would be so interesting to me that, like you just said, you're not sad anymore. So people in real time for you are experiencing your old emotion.
Past,
and it's real for them now. And you're like, I'm over it. He wasn't that great. And, I woke
he
up
was
and I was
fucked up, you know?
But
like,
people are really invested. Yeah,
that's so funny. But they're not, like, there are a lot of nice people, though, who really want to, you know, share your stuff. But sometimes it's, like, too much, but, like, they still want to be part of your story, you know? Like, a lot, like, sometimes I need help on some, like, when I build a show, like, I cannot build a house, I cannot build, like, do the electronics and the lights and everything. And I created this fictional country called the Tordjman. And I wanted to make a weather channel. So you had, like, the green background and the shape of my fake country, and you could present the channel, the weather channel. You know, you would be like the weather person. And I don't know how to do it. Obviously, I just had the funny idea, and I know a guy who would do this. You know, so I was just like, oh, how much would you charge for this? Blah blah. It was like, oh no, I feel like I'm working for Toulouse-Lautrec.
Nice.
So I'm not gonna make you. I just want to be part of your story.
Cool.
And it was like, oh wow, but Toulouse-Lautrec, really? Like, I don't see the link at all. But thank you very much. And, like, people really want to be part of something they feel is worth it.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, this is for example, again, JR, when he's doing his pastings. Sorry, like, everyone is coming to help, like, in a free way. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just like creating a community and making them involved in your stuff. They're just, like, so happy. Yeah. And they're free. Yeah.
And when they want a truer connection, people, I think, they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
And when they feel that something that you're doing they cannot do, they're just, like, more impressed by it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wouldn't dare speaking like this to someone, or not about painting. It's not even about painting, anymore. You know, I'm doing this because this is my support, like, my medium, you know. But, like, people like the painting and like the work, which is great, but, like, they want to know more about what I have to say through it, you know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, the story matters. It's not it's not how you do. It's what and why.
Yeah, it can be so ugly, but, like, it still has to talk to them, you know.
It has to resonate. Yeah.
That's a nice word.
Resonate. Thank you.
Yeah, fuck at it.
You can use that.
I'm gonna use it again.
All right, so I think. Wow, I didn't use that much battery. That's crazy. We should probably wrap it up. It's almost 10.
Wow.
Yeah, we went for a long time. So you got to take control.
But it's hard to take control on people.
Yeah, it is. And especially, I think, for most artists, it is, too.
Yeah. You have to be a business person in art now.
And that's the hardest thing. I think that's why you see... That's the weird thing with social media, right? Is people have more freedom, and I think they think they're going to succeed more, but we really don't understand that other part of the business.
No, yeah.
And that's where I find... I went to school for art, so I had this weird perspective of being able to see, like, everybody coming out of art school, and one by one, because we were this huge community, and one by one people stopped.
Yeah.
And now I'm maybe one of 3 that continued, and a lot of it had to do with that embracing the business side of it and representing yourself and being able to talk.
Scary.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I mean, that's why I'm kind of envious.
And what do they do, the other people now?
What's that?
What do they do?
Just a lot of them that I've seen, they went to normal jobs, like 9-to-5ers, office jobs, or something else. You know, had families and you know, it's and they're probably happier for it, but yeah, it was fucking hard. Like, no one preps you for that. You're
no
shit. All. Really, like, the joy of art was like being by yourself, right? You're in your studio. And
you just
all day long cranking stuff out. Yeah, listening to music
all night.
Yeah, and then you're like, you know, luckily, I mean, people like you are like a natural. I feel like of like you go like, so you went up on stage and you're cracking shows. That was so but weird. For some people like me, it doesn't work,
most of the people, it's like, this is not what I've signed for.
Where I lucked out is I played music when I was younger, like. Not real music, like punk rock music, but I did a lot of performance. Did you? Yeah. So I'm used to being on stage. It's not weird to me, and it's not weird to do interviews. Bass mostly.
I'm a bass player too.
Are you really?
Yeah, my bass is just right there.
Nice. Yeah. Bass player.
So we were kind of, you know, like feeling with the drummer, like, you know, just during the
it's actually a great position to be in, right? Because I'm used to being on stage, but I don't need to be center attention.
Yeah,
I know when to step back. Yeah,
you like the flow of like people giving you the energy.
Yeah,
or you don't have to do too much.
Yeah.
You know, like you're doing your stuff, but you don't have to make a show out of yourself.
You're right. You nailed it. Like, that's when you know a real bass player. When they said, like, the joy of it is, like, back with the drummer a little bit. You're like, okay, I'm up here. I see the crowd. They're digging it.
I communicate, but not so much. I'm just doing my stuff so you can vibe.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah. And you just listen to the kick drum and do your thing. So I think I had a fortunate position doing that for years. Like, it doesn't bother me being in front of a camera or being in front of people. But most artists, man, it's like, that's the worst thing.
Yeah, I'm playing with it now.
How do you mean?
Like, I know, like, sometimes this is funny because I know I'm a good client for journalists because like they're gonna ask a question and I'm gonna make like a real story around it. I'm not gonna say yes, no. You know, I'm just like, I have a story to tell. So I'm just like playing with it. It's funny to me. It's a kind of a game to talk about it. This is another part of the job that I embrace now. You know, it's funny, you know. Yeah. But like sometimes I know exactly what they want from me and I'm not giving it. You know, when I know that they want me to say something about the Muslims, you know, because I'm like, we have like
baiting you. Yeah, like
you know, they was like, oh, how do you feel as a Jewish person? I was like, no one said that I was Jewish. My name is Jewish. I didn't say I was Jewish. What do you want me to say, you know? And sometimes I'm just like, I want my first TV, I ruined it. They were horrible. They were asking terrible questions, and I had the mic here, and I was always touching it. It was like, you cannot use that shit, bro. Sabotage for real. But it was so weird questions. It was just, how does your grandma feel in France? And she was like, my grandma was French. She's French, you know. Like, she was living in Algeria, but at the time Algeria was French. You know, I was like, what the fuck are you trying to do? And she was like, how do you feel about terrorism? I'm not gonna talk about this, you know. Like, as a Jewish, I have to say bad thing about the Muslims. I won't ever.
Yeah, and they love that shit because it's clickbait.
And they expect this because they want me to be a bad person, you know, so they can like have a buzz on my shit. You know? And I would never give this to them.
Well, and that's what gets the views. And that's kind of goes back to what I was saying, too, about, like my things. Like, I don't edit these things. It's a long conversation. That's the way I want to keep it. Because I don't like that falseness of things like that. Like, baiting shitty questions.
Don't make it out, like, your way. What you want to hear, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like... So, sometimes, now, they all know what I have to give. But, like, at the first steps of this... They were always trying to have like bad stuff. Sure. Even with this, when they said like, "Oh, why do you paint black people?" I'm just like, I'm not painting black people. I'm just painting people, and they appear to be black or whatever, you know. But this is just people at first. Why do you see them black? You have troubles. Like, you have something wrong with you because you just see a black person before seeing the person, you know.
Right.
And then when I tell this to them, they're just like, and they're feeling like stupid, so they're not putting the question. But that's true. Like I had this question a lot. Why do you paint black people? This is not black people. This is just people. Why do you see black first? Why do you see the color first?
Well, I think, and not that I agree with it.
They would never ask me, why do you paint white people?
Yeah. Well, I asked it.
What?
Why do you paint black people?
Oh, yeah. But that was interesting, though, to go
right,
into
no,
this, you know?
It's not like it's not to create attention.
No.
When they're asking you, it's like, like the Muslim thing. It's like all these things that can be points of tension.
And they were like, why? Because like this is interesting because when you were telling about this, because in America you cannot say black, and I would be seen in a different way that I am here with the same job.
Yeah, there's a different
because
context.
the society, exactly. It's all different. So it's interesting though, because like I have my pieces going there too. So I'm just like, how am I? Like I have to be prepared as well about how they can see me and everything.
Yeah.
My story is gonna help it be seen the right way, but still, you know. But like I have this stuff like when journalists they really try to put you down, like, or make you say something you don't want to say, you know, all the time. And I don't want to do this, you know, like sometimes they ask me a question and I'm answering to another.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to do because they don't. What did I hear the other day? Somebody put it really well when they're saying something like journalism now. They don't care about providing information, which is what they used to do. They just they care about getting views.
Exactly.
And so that's what it is tension, controversy.
Yeah.
Get you to say crazy shit.
And I don't want to, you know? And now I'm not stressed anymore it depends. When I had the Vanity Fair stuff, I was so stressed because it was like 300 people in front of me. And I was just like, not maybe 300, but like there were a lot of people. I was just like, that's a lot of eyes watching me, you know?
Yeah.
And when you're doing just a one-to-one conversation, you forget that a lot of people are going to read it, watch it. So you're just kind of natural sometimes, and you just say things that you shouldn't.
You should, you know?
It's like, oops. But I felt comfy. So, and now I'm learning that they're not my friends. It's not a coffee with someone that I want to know, you know? You don't realize that it can have like an impact on some other people. Yeah. And people can be hurt by your words, and this is not the point at all, you know?
Yeah.
When you're a mean person and you want to hurt people and say like, black is terrible or Jews are shit or whatever, you know? Yeah. Like, of course, like this is on purpose. You want to hurt people.
Yeah, that's the intention.
But sometimes you're clumsy? No.
Yeah, clumsy is a good word.
Yeah, sometimes you're like this, you know, and you just like, you say something and you just like, this is exactly not how I thought it would be felt.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about what you say, what you do, how you move, blah, blah, blah. It's like a really big work, like to talk about your work.
Yeah.
Even more than just painting. Because when you paint, as you said, you're alone in your studio doing your thing with the music loud, nighttime. Mm-hmm. You're just like with yourself, you know, and then you're just like, oh, maybe I'm shit inside.
And you start
maybe I'm a bad person.
Yeah, and I think that's even more difficult is because doing interviews, you're a good speaker, but I think most is like, that's not our forte. Our forte is making pictures. So you're more likely to say something wrong. So that's even more nefarious how they do that, baiting you into certain things, man.
But most of the, like when, like even some comedians and everything, you see like most of the artists, like when you see them and you like them, it's because they have troubles in their own life.
All right, I better get a move on because it's 10:15 now.
Wow, that's crazy though.
Anything you want to wrap up with?
Oh, I think I'm good.
You are. I think you are.
At first, I said, do you want to rap with something?
No.
Hey, 1, 2, check.
Spit some verses for the end, maybe.
Do you want to rap? Not sure.
Yeah. Get the bass out. Get a good bass line going.
Imagine I would like understand this. I was like, yeah, great, and I would really spit a rap.
What would I do? I would just sit here and let you finish it.
What is she doing? But okay, that's funny. She has a personality. That's her brand, like personal branding. She's rapping at the end of everything. So now I'm not gonna rap, and I have nothing to wrap it up.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'll just end it in editing then. So thanks. I appreciate it.